My question for Andy is, you do get out on site from time to time, and you're running a few different softwares through some of your different clients.
Yeah.
What's been the feedback from site teams, project managers, site managers, for what works well, especially things like health and safety feedback, quality assurance? That all ties into when you're sort of going to make a claim, and it all sort of, there are some softwares that are bringing it all together, but I haven't seen ones that have sort of got an end-to-end solution yet. What are you seeing that's working well?
I have a vision that's different.
Yep.
What's working well? Just fucking nothing.
So nothing's working. So we're just we're plodding along.
That's probably pretty brutal.
Yeah.
No, there are some innovative things happening in the industry, though, which is quite cool. But I'll talk about it from a planning perspective.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people use Microsoft Projects, which I don't rate as a good planning tool at all. That's just a glorified Excel spreadsheet. So for those of you using Microsoft Projects, just fucking scrap it and move on to better tools out there. Seriously. I know people use it because it's cheap and it's accessible. I understand why they use it.
And it's been around a long time. So what you're really saying is it's had its day.
We're at the age of AI today.
Yeah.
and we in the construction industry are still stuck with fucking Excel spreadsheets for everything. Like, dude, let's get rid of them, man. Spreadsheets aren't a place where you record data. It's just not a place to record data. It's a platform that was created to analyze data.
Yeah.
Not enter data.
Yeah.
You see, there's a fundamental difference, and how we use it in construction is just we use it to enter data and store data.
Yep.
It's a great analysis platform. Like, without an argument, Excel's a great analysis platform. I mean, and now you can move that into Power BI and whatnot.
Yeah.
But some of the tools that I'm trying out is a software called Aster Power Projects. License is not crazy expensive. It's a single user license is not too bad. If you want to know how much, hit me up. I'll tell you.
Yep, fair enough.
The power that brings is quite cool. Like, it's a platform where you can integrate your 3D model into your programs, where you start looking at 4D modeling, and that then, it's like your programs become so much better. You have effective communication from that point in time, because you then alter your program. You're visually seeing, from a methodology perspective, how your methodology changes.
Yeah,
that becomes quite powerful, And it's just as simple as to use like Microsoft Projects. It's not. It's no more complicated than Microsoft Projects.
Are you still seeing much of the Oracle stuff, Primavera, and that get used?
P6 is the tool that everybody uses, right? Yeah. And P6 has been around for such a long time, and there's a reason it's been around for such a long time. It's a robust planning system. It's a robust planning tool, but there's also a finite amount of people that can use P6. There aren't 1,000 people in New Zealand that use P6.
Yeah.
There are a handful of people that use P6.
Yeah, I mean, back when we were using it on site, and we're just basically in a site office, and we're just basically using it as a milestone tool for us. We haven't got time to redo the plan on site. So using the right plan up front, you need good planners for that, to help the guys on site. Or you need
people that know how to interrogate a plan. Okay. Hands down, right? Okay. Doesn't matter what tool you use, the concept's still the same.
That's right.
Yep. So it's the fundamentals. Come back to your basic fundamentals. How many people in New Zealand do you think would be able to calculate total float manually on a piece of paper?
Probably none, almost, these days.
Yeah. How many? I forget the planners. I'm talking about the site managers, the project managers. How many of those people would be able to calculate total float manually?
I'd say a handful.
I don't know, mate. Show me one.
Oh, yeah. But what I mean by that is they could potentially sort of, take a broad brush approach and say, okay, we want it done in this time frame, and they just ring the boss and say, are we tracking? And that's pretty much what you get from a site team, right?
But then how are you tracking? But then, see, for me as a planner, right, total float, just that one concept of total float, understanding that concept of total float is everything to me. That's literally how I plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without that, I don't understand criticality of an event, the criticality of a chain of tasks, right?
Yeah.
And it blows my mind how many people just go use it as a visualization tool and not actually interrogate a program. Like that skill is really missing.
Yeah, I'd say that, even just from MS projects, when you look at your critical path, right? And I've come into jobs partway through and you've had that program there and there's a whole lot of stuff missing that's not even on that critical path. And you're like, well, how are we going to achieve this if this is not there, that's not there, this is not there? So by the end, if you were to add all of that back in, you're adding a huge amount of time onto that project. And then, sometimes the bosses don't want to hear it because they're the ones that did it, or they don't want to go to the client and say, hey, look, and realistically, these things are going to punch it out by 3 weeks, a month, 3 months.
This comes back to scope gaps, right?
That's right.
So you're just like, okay, so the root cause then now comes back to why do you have a scope gap?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so hear me out. Okay, why do you have a scope gap, right? Because somebody looked at a drawing and didn't look at all the elements or didn't do a proper takeoff from the drawings.
Yes, I also say that that QSs, architects, engineers that are at the pre-con, there should be a level of construction team feeding back, because the way a builder would look at a set of plans.
There's a process, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a design.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to do a takeoff from a design.
That's right.
And then, do we do takeoffs in New Zealand?
And in what
Hi,
way?
people. Okay, so then that takeoffs then go to a planner and a QS.
Yep.
The QS costs it. The planner uses that as its fundamental basis to create a program.
Yep.
How many times does that happen?
Just once.
No. How many times in New Zealand, in different projects in New Zealand, does a planner get a list of takeoffs to then create a program?
Oh no, he never. He has
Exactly.
to do it himself.
So he has to do it himself.
That's right, and he's basing it on all of his assumptions and his methodology.
Yes.
But his methodology is not necessarily what the site team will come up
are going to
with.
build to.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's massive disconnects all the way through that process.
Yeah.
Right. What if we can change all of that?
I know. That's why you exist, Andy.
That's why I exist. Fucking hell, man. Yeah. I think I spoke about this in an earlier podcast as well. What if we could make the 3D model the centroid of your planning process?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see it out there, and
Why can't we shop draw off 3D models?
well, yeah, shop drawings are a massive one,
Why can't you do your takeoffs of 3D models? Why can't you come up with simulations of how you're going to build with a 3D model linked to a program? Why can't you link your cost back to a 3D model? Link everything back to a 3D model. Make that 3D model your centroid of your entire construction project. That would revolutionize and change everything. In my opinion, it would.
Yeah.
Used effectively and implemented effectively.
Yeah, I think then there's a huge amount of training for the guys that are then feeding back in.
I don't think so.
I think
Not with AI.
I would say, like you've been in construction, Andy, like me, a little while, and you know what the guys on site, the guys that are putting it together at the end of the day.
Let's simplify it for them.
Yeah, let's simplify those.
The guys on site don't give a
inputs.
fuck about anything else
No,
apart from building.
That's right.
They don't want to do any paperwork. They don't want to deal with all the shit. They just want to come out there and do a good job. They just want to build.
Yeah.
How about we enable them to do that?
Yeah.
How do we do it?
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Well, if we could plan it to a way where we've stripped it to the simplest possible,
Absolutely.
things that they can think about on site.
Keep it simple. Yeah. But anyways, those are my views.
Yeah, cool. We can wrap that one.
Huh?
We can wrap that one. That's good. There's enough in there.
Yeah, fuck, that was... sorry, I got a bit intense in there. Beyond, that was a really interesting chat, mate, and appreciate all your insights into the world of construction. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
Anytime, mate. It's an absolute pleasure having you.
I'm looking forward to see this perfect project off your 3D model delivered this year, mate.
This year, you reckon? This year?
That's the challenge. No. 2024 might be the year for you to have that perfect 3D interface running.
No, that's why I'm focusing all my efforts into the tendering world, because I believe that's where I can make the most change.
Yeah.
And
you could probably pick up a lot of flaws in that, if it's getting analysed right at the start and you've got a 3D model and people have had to plan off that and they pick up pinch points right then and there, you're not too far. You haven't broken ground yet, so you're not too far down the track. You can pull some of that slop back.
See, I've already converted you. I can see.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Cool,
man.
bro.
Appreciate you being here.